Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. It is Tuesday, and you know what that means. That means we bring back the lumberjack, and the two good old boys just have some fun. How you doing, sir?
We do. I'm ready for some fun. I'm ready for some fun. Somebody from the channel I actually talked to this morning, and when I called them back, he said, Chainsaw Depot. And he's like, how do you want them? And I go, extra sharp.
Extra.
And so, yeah, it was good. It's good. It's fun.
That is awesome. Well, hey, as you know, Saturday morning, I released my second book. I kept a lot of the kind of topics and what's covered under wraps. I indicated something was coming a couple of times, but it's out, right? It's been a year in the making. And what I wanted to do with you this morning, be the one I announced this with, is I want to just introduce the 15 guests or the 15 chapters. And yeah, I just wanted to do that with you. So I've been waiting for this. You ready?
I can't wait, Mike. I can't wait to hear about this stuff. I think people learn by hearing stories. And so I think that this is just awesome for people, you know?
Yeah. And my whole intention, right? This started out as a storyboard, right? I was trying to look at my channel and go, okay, how can I put together the biggest smorgasbord? How can I cover areas that I can't, right? One rental at a time was great, but it was one story. So, all right, I'm a little nervous all of a sudden. I don't usually get nervous. That's kind of an odd feeling. I remember that feeling.
I won't judge you.
You won't judge me. All right.
I won't.
All right. Well, here we go. Guest number one. Yeah. And one of the things you'll see is every guest has a specific advice. So this first one is dream big. Yep. This particular guest, he's actually on the East Coast. He started part-time, replaced his income by 2x, as I recall, and then went full-time, right? So very conservative. He's actually joint ventured every deal. Again, something I have never done. I never joint ventured. He has a deep pocket money investor that he goes 50-50 with. And we talk about that. He has stayed focused or loyal or whatever you want to call it to a single market of about 150,000 people. So smaller than mine, might be a little bigger than yours.
Bigger than mine. Yep.
Yeah. And he has changed over time, right? In the book, he starts off by saying he wants to be a wholesaler and then a flipper and then a buy and hold and then a contractor. So you will see this particular guest, as he's evolved in his market, he's taking on more and more things. So again, guest number one, that's who guest number one is.
Love it. Love it. And I mean, again, you're seeing the makings of dreaming big, taking action, finding a model that worked for them.
Yep.
Focus and daily discipline in an existing market. I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, one of the things I really tried to do was, everybody's story is unique, but you certainly will see me tie the one rental at a time things. And
then lastly is changing strategies over time, understanding that you have to learn to pivot in this market, and you always have to be eyeing what you're doing today, what can get better, and what you're seeing things shift out of favor, because we've been doing this for 20 years. This is how you became famous, was that you got it right.
Yeah.
Plenty got it wrong.
Plenty got it wrong. Yeah. All right. Number two, big advice is calculate your freedom number. God, where have we heard that before? Get your money right. Again, this individual started part-time. She, in this case, she, I want to say, was a nurse. So she was in the medical field. She started part-time, meaning investing part-time, while she worked a demanding full-time job. She is very clear. You don't need 1,000 units, right? There's a lot of social media yuckiness. Now she is enjoying life. She sold her primary home, and now she's traveling the country in an RV. And she's been doing that, I think, 6 or 7 months. She is about balance and quality of life, and really taking it to the next level. And again, she has added strategies over time. She was focused. Her first focus was flipping, and has evolved over time as well.
That sounds like April Crossley.
Good guess. It is April Crossley. Shocking.
So one of the things that I like about hers is, again, starting with a strategy, adding to that strategy over time. Number two, the biggest takeaway for me with this one is not needing 1,000 units. I mean, Mike, let's be honest. You and I all the time talk about when we're going to stop. Yeah. Because we don't know yet. It's still to be determined.
Right.
Don't know. And you're at 187 and I'm at 70-ish.
Yep.
I don't know when I'm going to stop. We're going to be at close to 100 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I don't know when we're going to stop. We might, but I don't know.
Yeah, but you can also make choice. The one I loved about April, right? I've interviewed April. I've talked with her dozens of times probably.
Mhm.
Is she got her number? She got her number
Yep.
plus, and
Yep.
she's like, you know what? I'm going to go travel the country in an RV with my husband and dog, and see what it's about. And she's still doing her business. It's just
Sure.
she's her priorities are different. And this is a big deal in the social media world. How many people like, hey, I want time with my family, and then they, on the other side they're doing 90-hour weeks and seven. It's like, come on.
Uh-huh.
April leads by example. So
That's right.
yeah,
Love it. Love it.
guess number 3, location matters. This individual decided to go a couple of streets the wrong way and lost 10 grand on the first deal.
Yeah.
This is a couple, husband and wife. They
Yep.
burr, but have full-time jobs. So it's in their backyard.
Yep.
That has taught them to focus on better area and higher incomes.
Mhm.
We talk about the monopoly board, and they're not on they're not on the boardwalk in Marvin Garden side. They're on the other end. Right. So
Yeah.
they definitely, they have their focused area, and that's what they choose to do. And they self-manage, right? So they burr and then hold long-term. They don't always get all their money out, but they get most. And they're just growing consistently.
Again, key is understanding what strategy works for them based on their experiences. They got burned in a bad area or a marginal area.
Right.
They adjusted the strategy, and now they're on a strategy that clearly works because they continue to do it.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah. Take the lump and move on. Right. Sometimes,
That's right.
Sometimes,
don't fight the market. Don't fight the Fed. Don't fight location.
Exactly.
Yep.
Number 4. This is actually an individual who's been running a Burr Shop, right? That's how he's built his portfolio for the last 5 years.
Yep.
Lots of moving parts. I mean, this is what he does, right? He's got anywhere between 8 and 12 projects going on at any one time. He's got 50 properties to date. Actually, more than that. This interview was over a year ago. For him, much like you, a local bank has been his key, right? He proved it worked a few times. And now the bank is kind of like, yes, we'll take more. Surprises happen, right? When you go in to do a Burr project, you may not see the need to rewire or whatever. You just got to take your lumps when they happen and move on. But you make your money when you buy is a big idea from him. So again, here, the one for me is Burr. His advice is Burr is an advanced strategy. A lot of people try to make it look too easy. So
people that think that they're going to burr out of the gate are largely mistaken, and they will lose.
Yeah, it's you're going to leave some money in the deal, right? And if you're prepared for that, it's good. But I really feel bad for the people that's like, Burr's my way. I don't have any money. I'm going to borrow everything. It's going to work out. Yeah, I don't know.
With high likelihood, somebody like us will be buying that property.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I bought stuff that's been partially done, and they died on the Burr.
Yep.
And don't like it, but it happens.
Yep. Number 5, live where you want, invest where the numbers work. These individuals live in Southern California. They are out-of-state investors. We spend a lot of time talking about boots on the ground are key, and they can save you. They gave plenty of examples where their boots on the ground saved their butts. The interesting one here is the wife in this case. Her parents actually talked about financial literacy. It's the only interview that I remember where we spent a lot of time talking about how her parents brought financial discipline in. I thought that was fun. And their goal is to be financially free by 45. They're in their mid-30s.
That's awesome. I mean, and the funny thing is that the question is will they actually retire at 45? Because financially free at 45 does not mean retire, as you and I are living examples of. Yeah. True story. Yeah. I mean, but I love it though. I mean, again, what a great, 5 guests that could not be more different.
Yeah, exactly.
Like awesome.
I've tried.
Yeah. Doing a great job.
Number 6, understand conservative leverage. This individual reached out to me because of one of my Dave Ramsey videos, the FIRE movement and all of that. So we actually review what they had done to date. And frankly, Dave Ramsey stunted their growth. They took on debt structures that were not advantageous to growing because they were trying to kind of juggle growth and paying off. It's kind of 2 oars going the wrong directions or fighting each other.
Sure.
Then they got a little too excited. They bought property 3 and 4 kind of like back to back before 3 had even started. Sometimes you got to go slow to go fast. And they are, and what they did indicate is they are going to take their primary and make that a rental as well. Again, you can buy a primary with less down and things of that nature. So again, a new little twist in all of this.
Yeah, I think I probably bought number 3 and number 4 too fast. I think I did too. Yep.
Yeah, it happens,
Yep. I
right?
agree with that. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, well, you think you have it, right?
Yeah.
You think you have it. You think you're dialed in. You're like, yep, got it. Got it. Got it. I'm good. I'm really going to be good at this.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
woo,
crap.
too many balls in the air. That one just hit the ground.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I love that.
Number 7, you never fail if you keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
This is an individual who quit their job, went all in on wholesaling, right? Burn the boats, if you will.
Yeah.
He talks about a story where he didn't give up going to seek some energy drink, and that became his moment. This individual admits to being afraid of the phone. Think about that. Being a wholesaler who is afraid of the phone. He threw his phone against the wall. Yeah, career limiting. But he admits it and he gets through it. And he ultimately does 33 deals his first year. But we talk about how he gets through it and he does this. And again, I call him and congratulate him. He's a true real estate entrepreneur. But the story of struggle. And I mean, he had his phone turned off and all of these just real struggles. And hopefully
it sounds like Omar.
It's somebody in my market, somebody in the Fresno market, but yeah, very, very similar.
Yeah. Sounds like Omar. Yeah. That's awesome.
Number 8, again, boots on the ground are critical. This is an individual who bought one of those back of the room $2,000 courses and did not do much with it. But he did get in. He likes the hotel properties. That's his little twist, right? He goes in, does trash out, might do light painting, but he doesn't replace flooring or anything of that nature. He talks about his, less than $3,000, kind of his cleanup, right? What he tries to do. And he just tries to get properties going. He does this. I think when we did this interview, it's weird. He lived in San Diego, but he invests in upper New York, I guess, not like Manhattan, but upstate New York. I think he called it, hence boots on the ground. And that's where he grew up. Hence he's got plenty of boots on the ground there. And then finally, we really get into the end of this talking about buy and hold is where wealth is created, right? He talks about early in his career, he was getting big checks, but then he got big tax bills. And now he's talked about, how he wants to, I think, I don't remember exactly, but it was basically, hotel 2, keep 1 kind of thing, right? He wants to keep more. So again, lots of stuff to talk about.
Well, yes. I mean, right. The one that screams out the most on this particular one is certainly understands the value of boots on the ground.
Yep.
I think, has created his own hybrid strategy, which I love because in those inefficiencies that you find in the market and in other people, those inefficiencies you can turn into good capital for yourself.
Yep.
And then I think the last point that I like a lot is buy and hold equals wealth, which is there's a lot of flippers out there that are about to get their comeuppance next year. Right.
To that,
and even right now, some of that's happening. So I think next year, if you're an Airbnb bear and you are a flipper, you're going to have a crappy year next year.
Yeah.
Next year is not going to be nearly as fun as the last 12 to 24 months.
I agree.
Just my thoughts.
Number 9, the American dream is alive and well. This individual started with nothing and built a 9-figure business.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Finding and creating value is his superpower. He keeps networking with others bigger than him. He's always trying to get into the next room. And he's done over $200 million in deals. Yeah.
That's a big number.
I was trying to think. I've never done the math. I want to say 30-ish. 30.
I bet you're higher than that.
I could be.
I bet you're in your 40. I bet you're 40. I bet you're over 40.
Actually, yeah. If you take the apart,
you have to.
I've never done the math.
Well, see, that's because we don't look at our PFSs.
It's like one of those uses. Does that mean anything to me?
It really, I don't think it does, but I think it's more one of those things that you can only tie to productivity.
It's probably, yeah. You know what? Dude,
because I'm in Mike.
It's got to be 50 now that I think about it.
You're way high. Yeah. Because we're in the 20s.
Yeah. It's got to be in the 50s.
Yeah. We're in the 20s.
But I don't know. Don't hold me to that. But I would bet if 50 was the number, I'd take the over.
Yeah. I would.
Yeah,
I would too. Yeah. Because I'm in the 20s and you're 3x my size.
Yep. All right. Next, get on the property ladder ASAP. This is an individual who was in his early 20s when we talked about this. He did a 203K loan to help build his owner's equity. He saved $7K working in a retail job.
Awesome.
He sold one property and regrets it. And of course, he likes to look for wedge deals. He's down in Southern California.
This is Meet Kevin.
It is. It is actually. Yes.
So he turns into, and so for any people that understand this and look at it, the guy's worth what, 20 million now?
Oh, easy. Yeah.
25 million. I mean, the
would
guy's
think.
worth a ton of money, but he built his, and it's cool because it kind of shows you financial freedom, right?
Yep.
Once you get there, and no matter how you get there, you can kind of do anything you want.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing right now. Like running for governor and losing.
Yeah.
Which was sad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love it though. I mean, it's just proof, Mike, that with anybody that there's something that you can take away from it, right?
Yeah. What I really, because again, I appreciate people's early stories, right? A lot of people look at him today and he's, ooh, wow, look at all the numbers. I want to know the guy at 23 who was saving $7,000 at Jamba Juice.
That's right.
Who moved into his girlfriend's house in high school.
Yeah.
And, bought a $300,000 house with like $9,000.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, that is taking action. It's live and flip. I mean, that's the part I appreciate. And more people need to do it.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, for Bryn and Eliana, my daughters that are going to be watching this someday, your boyfriend cannot move in.
Don't ask.
Yeah. Don't ask.
Yeah. He can move in, but he'll be living in the backyard 6 feet under the dirt.
I'll put him in an apartment a few miles from the house. Yeah. That would be best.
I'll call my boy Mike and we'll see if we can put him in Fresno.
Exactly.
I'll cut you a deal. We'll put him in at half price.
Perfect.
Hey, I'll take care of him. California.
Yes. Perfect.
There you
Long
go.
distance relationships work.
Yeah, it works. No problem. You can zoom him or whatever it is. Number 11, going deep in one market offers benefits. This is a mother of 5 who has flipped over 100 homes in her career. It's over a decade long.
Wow.
They were doing this in 2008, on a much smaller scale. That was kind of their beginning. But she remembers saying out loud, "Can we afford Christmas?"
Yeah. Yep.
Right. You feel that in the discussion. Yeah. And then she talks about finding a mentor that matched her, because she talked about others that didn't. Matches her kind of her style and her goal strategy. And that changed it for her. So again, another story. Just keep rolling and different, but hopefully meaningful.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. 100
So
homes.
mother of 5. I don't want to hear people I can't do it. I don't have time.
Mother of 5, flipping 100 homes back in her backyard, in fairness, but yeah, 100 homes. No joke.
Awesome.
Number 12, never stop learning. People ask me, one of the early comments on my introduction is which interview hit you? They all did, but this is the one that I admitted hit me the most, just because who it is. This is a investor in her 70s. Her 70s.
Wow.
And she's talking about starting in the 80s with credit cards. Right? This is just a different time. Her point is never stop learning. One of the reasons that this hit me so hard is she's been selling off her portfolio, right? The other 14 interviews are about people growing at different size. She's like, hey, I've never met a landlord in her 70s or his 70s that do a good job. Right. We buy from frustrated landlords, right? That's a market we go to. So she got ahead of the curve, right? She started selling her portfolio
so smart
early, and she does seller financing and hard money. And this one hit hard.
Yeah.
And this one, I mean, I remember after doing this interview, I sat in my room for like 45 minutes, just contemplating life. I was like, oh my God.
I mean, Mike, this is an exit strategy that honestly, a year ago, I never would have considered.
Exactly.
A year ago, I never would have considered it. I was like, seller financing. I'd have been like, no,
Yeah.
On the buy side or on the sell side.
Yeah.
Now on the buy side, I ask for it in every deal.
Right.
And often get laughed at.
But it's okay.
And whatever. I'm getting laughed at all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of sales.
What are you new here?
Yeah. What are you, soft?
Yeah, exactly. Haha, I suck. Hey, let me help you out. I'm also a 9th grade dropout.
Yeah. What do you like now? Yeah.
But I love this because this is a completely new exit strategy that I don't think very many people are considering at all.
Yeah. After this conversation, I changed. I'm like, you know what? I will probably, this is again, because of this conversation. And this is why I admitted this is the one that hit me personally the hardest, was I'll probably sell a couple, right, to raise cash, just to go party, whenever that is, right? Whatever party means. But then a lot of it will be seller financing, because I want the income, and I hate paying the IRS.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, this one hit hard.
Yeah.
Number 13, get educated so you don't lose a decade. This individual is a big time investor, huge operation. But early in his career, he bought a substandard rental while working. And it was so painful, lost money, that he exited real estate for a decade. That's hence the lost decade.
Oh, yeah.
But now he's,
it.
yeah, if the first time hurts, you just don't go back. Right. And this is a conversation that you and Dion and I are probably going to have Thursday, right? What happens if, and Dion asked me what would happen if Olivia said, sell that property instead of keep going for that first Norris Drive. So this is probably the answer, right? I'd probably lose a decade, which would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now this investor is focused on properties below the median. He's addicted to deals. He ultimately, once he got back in, he did wholesaling and had success, and now to replace his income, and now flips. And of course he buys and holds for cash flow. He had rentals during the 2008 crash, and cash flow went up, right? He didn't care that the values went down. So again, a great conversation.
Yeah. I think we haven't bought in the very beginning, we didn't buy property, or I didn't buy property every year. There were definitely a couple deals where it took up a ton of capital. It didn't go exactly as I'd hoped.
Yeah.
Where it was probably, I want to say when we couldn't get loans, right? So
Yeah.
it was probably back of 2007 to maybe middle of 2009, maybe. So there was a 2.5 year gap where we didn't buy anything. I didn't buy anything.
Yep. Number 14. This one's a personal friend of mine in my market. The rat race is real. Be careful, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets in, has a career, making big money, but spending it all, much like myself. He has a conversation with his wife about quitting and going full time. They have a great conversation. Again, husband and wife on the same page. They have 6 months of reserves to live. So he goes for it, burns the boat. He gets a first deal rather quickly, kind of, thinks it's easy. And then 6 months go by before the second deal comes in. He does start as a house flipper. And the big thing that this individual does, he's the best investor in Fresno, frankly. And he is constantly marketing. He has been marketing with mailers for 4 or 5 years, never missing a beat. He is getting leads today from mailers from 2 or 3 years ago. He is a marketing machine. And I don't say this lightly. I think he's the best investor in my home market of Fresno, California. I was glad to put him in here. And then number 15, grow at a pace you are comfortable with, right? Don't follow others. Don't believe this. Don't believe that. This couple, again, 2 full-time employees, both in the healthcare field, as I recall, they watch Flip This House on TV and decide to give it a go. They end up doing 10 deals the first year. They've been leveraging private money for their cycle. And they tell some stories about contractors stealing money and getting loose on their project or process and, trusting people they probably shouldn't have too early. So yeah. So again, those are the 15 millionaires.
Wow. That's I don't know that you could get much more of a diverse group, Mike.
Yeah.
That's everything. That's everything I could think of that touches everything. Right.
I tried to mix up sexes, mix up experience, mix up time, mix up strategies. It was quite the exercise to put together, and hopefully people enjoy it. So that was fun. I appreciate you going through that with awesome. Me. I saved it for you.
I love it.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
Lumberjacklandlord.com, Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube, and 11:30 a.m.
Oh, he's doing it again
this coming Sunday. As if 5 hours and 3 minutes wasn't enough, we're coming back for more. It was a lot of fun. So we went, and I crashed at the end, but 5 hours and 3 minutes was.
Do you just go lay on the couch after that and just don't talk to daddy?
I think, what did I do from that? Oh, I think I walked out, and my wife goes, "Are you kidding, right?"
Yeah, are you kidding, right?
That was the first thing that was said to me when I walked out of my studio. "Are you kidding, right?" I was like, is that rhetorical?
Yeah. I'm not sure how to answer that. I need some honey and water.
Yeah. What would you like me to do?
Exactly.
So thanks.
Well, Mike. And folks, enjoy it. I might tune in next Sunday. That'll be fun.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I would love for some questions to come. Because I post questions on yours on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Because I watch, that's actually a family event for us. The kids literally sit around the television. We actually bring it up, and I'll actually have it on my phone muted so I can ask a question, but we'll actually watch it on the big screen in the living room. My kids are very used to Saturday morning cartoons and Saturday morning Zuber.
At 8 a.m. Pacific. That is awesome.
It is.
Very cool,
11
man.
a.m. They're watching it.
Let's I look forward to topic number 2, the cheat code to wealth. Here we go.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.